Wait a minute, what am I doing? Two men and a what? Two friends from film school, one who graduated, one who did, and they decided to make a podcast. Okay, this has never been done before, right? Okay. This is Matthew and Harrison's Two Men in a Movie. It's not what it sounds like.
He's border control. I'm saying anyone that just looks at anything in the War Department would do better at this point, because you see the Iranians painted plane silhouettes on an airfield, and then the U.S. bombed them with like $1 million bomb, and then they posted on Twitter, and they're like, "We're taking them down," and everyone's like, "Bro, that's painted." And then Israel's like, "Yeah, not Israel. Iran's like, yeah, we painted that. That wasn't actually a plane. You just spent like $1.5 million destroying airfield, still operational even." It rocks. It's very bad. It's very bad on the scale, but there's enough small things that are keeping me from completely spiraling.
Okay.
Because otherwise, I don't know. If we weren't bombing painted planes, I'd probably be putting a gun in my mouth and pulling the trigger until I can see God. Welcome to the Two Men in a Movie podcast, where each week one man shows another man a movie he can't believe he hasn't seen. As always, I'm your going to be on Suicide Watch soon host, Matthew Olenchek, joined as always by my master of the art, co-host, co-husband, Harrison, the Hangman Poole.
The art of suicide, or
Yeah.
the art of making like homicides look like suicide?
No, I consider you the out of everyone I know the foremost expert of suicide.
Why? Because I've been locked up twice.
Yeah.
I've met some of your friends. I refuse to believe I'm the only one.
No, I'm sure but like they don't talk about it, which it's like, look, it's a part of you. Just accept it. Just say it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone's feeling it. And I'm not sure if any of them would have used Hangsman's noose, and that's really brings you. That brings you from professional
okay.
to an auteur. Is like you're like, you know what? I'm not doing no. Ooh, I'm gonna take a bunch of drugs and pass out. Shit, I'm going old school.
That's. So
I'm going like one of those cheesemakers in Italy who've been doing it the same way for like 500 years. You're going. It's artisanal. It's a craftsman.
Artisanal suicide.
Artisanal suicide. That'd be a great band name.
That'd be. I mean, they'd be a punk band for sure. Yeah. I was gonna be like, what genre would they play? That's a dumb question.
They're either
they
punk
would 100%
or
be a
for
punk
some
band.
inexplicable reason, like a Radiohead-esque band.
Yes,
but like not in a way where it's like, oh, the same genre as Radiohead. Like you listen and you go, is this like shitty Radiohead? Wow, they got bad. Oh no, it's a different band. It's called Artisanal Suicide. Okay, cool. That rocks, I guess.
I knew that things were getting bad because U2 released a new EP.
Creed's working on a new album?
It was the last time that U2, I think, I could be wrong, the last time I believe U2 released music, like a collection of music, not just random one-offs, was 2017. Yeah. With Age of not Age of Innocence, Age of Experience.
I mean, we're back in the Middle East. We got a Creed album coming out. Suicide's at an all-time high rate in this country. So I'm expecting we're gonna get like new cool cell phones again. We're gonna go back to like 2003. In anticipation of the Great Recession 2, I've pulled out most of my contribution from my 401k. I'm still keeping the stock buy options because I like the aesthetic of it. But I'm like, I don't trust the market, and I could use a little bit more money now, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to retire.
You were just saying like 2 weeks ago that you were going to retire?
Yeah, no. I might have been saying it sarcastically, or I don't know, this Iran war really took a toll. And I'm like, oh, this is bad. This economy's not going to be doing well after this. This is an American economy killing event. It's gonna be real bad for us, at least stock market wise, which affects all of us, but more directly like 401ks. Luckily, our paychecks aren't based on the stock market.
And luckily, I'm a state employee, so I'm guaranteed. I got security, baby.
The only stock I'm keeping is my company stock because that's private and like it's controlled and stuff, so that's a bit less uppy down. It changes like once a year or two. Mm-hmm. That's a bit uppy downy, but I'm like, I'm not taking the money out of the 401k because that's dumb. And maybe in the future, things will look better and I'll start putting money back into it. But right now, I'm like, ooh, I could really use, especially the gas prices, I could use a few more dollars in my paycheck.
Sure.
Fun times all around. We're having a great time here. and we'll be doing even better when glorious China comes.
Oh my gosh.
When
Okay.
glorious China comes and bring some tanks over people, bad people I don't like.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's got to be people you don't like.
It's an increasingly I'm realizing I'm becoming increasingly harsh on groups of people, not like races, but like political, socioeconomic, I guess religious. I think that like anyone who isn't a Lutheran or a Catholic should have to like convert to that, should convert to one of them, and then we just need to wipe American Christianity off the map and let in the OGs, because Lutheranism is the Protestantism I respect the most, because it's it's original, and they're all really chill. From what I went to like a Lutheran church once with a friend for an event, and I'm like, all right, they're not crazy about this. They're not like American, I'm just saying, if Iran dropped a missile in every single megachurch, I'd be like, all right, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, megachurch, absolutely, 100%.
Like, get rid of those. Get rid of LinkedIn. I think's been pushed around. I know on Twitter people have been like, please, Iran, don't hit our critical infrastructure shown here. And it's like the LinkedIn building, or it's the IRS building, or I saw the League of Legends like Riot Company building. Like, that's an odd one. Someone really hates Riot.
I don't know,
I think we need one. I don't want it to be big and deadly. I think we need like 2 or 3 missile hits on American soil, so people go, "Oh, war's bad." Like, I was reading this like really interesting thought piece where someone's like, "It's really easy to be pro-war when you've never had to think about one of your countrymen pulling a child out of rubble." Mm-hmm. And I think like if we just, I'm not saying like I want like an entire city level, but just like a missile or 2, so people can just be like, "Oh, war's bad." Truly, I'm at a point where like if there were nukes. Mm-hmm. I'd be like at 70% enjoying this war, I'd say.
Yeah?
Like at least on how it's blowing back on us. Obviously, I want any war because like people dying en masse for fucking no reason. But I like the blowback we're getting. But there's always the risk of like the fact that like Israel has publicly said, if we start to lose our ability to be a country, we will nuke the world. They called the Samson policy, and they said, we will nuke, if our country is going to fail, we will nuke the world. And everyone said, okay, yeah.
Go for it.
Go for it. Not a single Western power was like, you shouldn't, no.
I think on some level, it's curiosity of like, you really? Are you gonna?
Well, also it's the betting, because now we have on the whatever that betting app is, the really big one. I don't care about it because it's not horse racing, or I like to gamble on artisanal craft. I like artisanal craft gambling. I like your slot machines. I like your card games. I like your sports. Your beasts of burden. I don't like that concept of betting on like, is Trump gonna shit himself?
Yeah.
But on that app where you can do that, there's like bets when a nuke's gonna be dropped in Iran. And I'm like, it feels less and less every day, because I think if someone goes to drop a nuke, Iran, at this point, I think Iran could just shoot it out of the fucking air, because I've always been like, we couldn't win a war. If we did win a war with Iran, it'd be rough. Like I was like, it's gonna be a rough war. Like that's rough. They're capable. I did not realize that they were this capable, to the point of a comical failure on our part, where it's like, oh, this is not great. And people might die on American soil, I guess.
Yeah, the 2 things that gave that, like, I had to keep reminding myself to give me hope that there's going to be a lot of rubble and we'll have to rebuild from the ashes, but that there will be something to rebuild, is 1, there is no heir apparent. I know we say it all the time. Yeah. No one has been able to gather the level
and it's being less and less likely every day.
Yes, there's no one who's been able to stir his base the way he can, and he chose loyalists over competency, which bad for the country, good in the long run of like, oh, you can't do this, like you're not going to completely divulge us into fascism.
Yeah.
You're going to be a little dalliance.
I mean, they're posting things about how like Charlie Kirk is the first casualty in the war in Iran.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm not positive enough to be like, we're going to build something good, like great, like good as in like better than we've ever built before.
Right.
Because I largely think that we're marching into hell, and that especially with all the climate change, which is past the point of no return, that things are just going to get worse overall. But I think that we're going to be able to build something not bad. We're going to be dealing with this for like fucking 70 years, though, because we're still not done dealing with Reagan. Like, so much stuff wrong with this country is because of fucking Reagan.
You ever think about the fact that Nancy Reagan was so good at giving head that we're at war with Iran right now?
If you had a chance to have Nancy Reagan suck your dick, would you?
Oh, am I in a relationship? If I'm single at the time, yes.
Do you think Geneva would let if it let Nancy Reagan suck your dick? If you asked politely.
I wouldn't ask.
You wouldn't ask?
No. If
You'd be like, honey, it's the throat goat Nancy Reagan.
I may casually, jokingly bring it up and then gauge her reaction, but like, no, it's not a thing that
I'd be asking for you.
Okay, then you ask.
I'd
her.
be like, Geneva, you gotta let Nancy Reagan suck Harrison's dick. It's the throat goat. Her throat's so good it started wars.
She's so good, she turned a Union president into a Nazi.
I've never seen her young. Give me a second here. Yeah, that looks like a person who's good at sucking dick. You see, she's got the very very smaller lower face with a heavier, so that way the weight on tops allows the
I love that you're doing the motion on an audio feed.
They know what I'm talking about. Look at a picture of young Nancy Reagan, and you'll look at her and you'll be like, yeah, a sturdy neck.
Yeah. Were you at all confused that I was on your side here?
No,
Like,
I'm just
you're just continually naming.
I'm just
things
admiring.
that
I'm just admiring how
oral sex.
it almost makes me believe in like creationism that something existed that was so perfectly made at sucking dick. You know?
Is that not evolution though? Is that not the exact not solution product of evolution?
Are we suggesting that sucking dick, being a throat goat's because I feel like being really good at that's bad. Like that would be weeded out by evolution because that leads to less offspring. Because
I view it as male pleasure.
But like they're not coming in the womb.
But they are occasionally.
No, if the throat's that good,
yes,
it's all going in there.
Okay. If the throat's that good, then you are going to make offspring with them subconsciously.
What? What does that mean?
For the continuation of...
What does that mean?
Is that... I don't know. I couldn't think of... I said the wrong
you
word.
motion towards your head. I'm like, what's it like?
Like, back of your head, you're not thinking monkey brain.
The sex is so good. Her body's like, I think we got impregnated. Immaculate conception, go. Placebo effect, go.
If we're assuming that oral sex is a positive, the physical traits necessary for positive oral sex is a positive physical trait we would like to pass down in our species.
Yeah, but that's not how that's eugenics. Evolution is just the advantageous things get passed down because the offspring survives. And I think there's less offspring there. Because, like, if I'm, like, 10 out of 10 times, if I'm in bed with Nancy Reagan...
10 out of 10?
What? She's the throat goat queen, dude.
Listen, I get 9 out of 10. But 10
I'm gonna
out of
say
10?
Half of the population's pussy ain't as good as that throat. You know?
Well, I don't know. I actually don't know. I have never... I have no experience with Nancy Reagan.
Like you're just gonna if you care about her feelings at all, you're just gonna be eating her out because you want to keep yourself good for that throat.
Yeah, sure, yes.
And then it go right in the throat. That's where you dump it. That's where you sling your goo. No kids.
Yeah, sure, but is not... I don't know. Would not some level of, not for everyone, but the idea of some level of like, we need to continue the species.
I believe in humanity's ability to transcend its nature.
But only when it comes to blowjobs.
Many things, but particularly Nancy Reagan's throat.
Okay.
Like you can see the deviancy, the true evil of Ronald Reagan, that he had like kids. I'm not sure if he had them with, let me check.
You can look at pictures and you can track the moment he started getting head. There's like young Union president, SAG president Ronald Reagan. There's like a slow transition into acting, but a little bit of politics. And then there's the moment he meets Nancy Reagan and he flips and becomes evil.
I think the monkey didn't help either.
Sure.
Once you no longer love the monkey, I think evil's on its way.
So okay.
Yeah, he had like 2 kids with his other. He had like kids with her. That's how you know she's evil. She's a Democrat?
Nancy Reagan?
No, his daughter.
Well, it would make sense. He used to be a Democrat, and then he got sucked off by Nancy Reagan.
Yeah, but like the concept of like Ronald Reagan's daughter being like a Democrat, after the Reaganism, because she went to Ohio University. She lived with. Oh, she got disowned. Okay, that makes sense. She got disowned. She was living with the Eagles guitarist, and then her mother had disowned her at that point.
That rules. Holy shit.
She's a vegetarian, loves weed, has no kids.
So she's okay. So she's just like an old hippie.
She kind of a baddie though in '83.
Yeah. So Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan had a hippie daughter.
Oh, they must have been so upset. She's just like, I'm disowning you because you'll never suck a Republican's dick as well as me.
Ronald Reagan.
Do you think she had a lot of like problems with that growing up, being like, I'm never gonna suck a dick as good as my mom?
No, because I don't think that it was like talked about in the same way, or if it was talked about more secretly.
I feel like everyone knew.
Maybe.
You can't keep that secret growing up if you're getting your dick sucked by Nancy Reagan. He's like, oh.
I think
and once he got senile too, you know, she's in the kitchen eating her breakfast, and he's like, "Morning, Dad." He's like, I say that was your mother has the most incredible dick sucking I've ever had. That's incredible. It's incredible.
Well, she was disowned by then.
She was disowned after college.
He didn't go senile. He was bad as president. He didn't go senile until like a decade later.
And like what year would that be? Like 70s?
No, 90. Yeah, Reagan was president all of the 80s. He didn't go like senile at least not publicly until the like mid 90s into the late 90s.
She married a yoga instructor who's one of the founders of Yin Yoga.
Hell yeah. Good for her.
Maybe she has no kids. Maybe she is also a throat goat.
Maybe.
Man, remember when even like bad presidents used to have hot, cool daughters? Trump also has a daughter, but much like him,
too.
But much like him, I forgot about them. We're there for a second.
There's Tiffany and Ivanka.
I completely forgot. They haven't been doing nothing.
Yeah. Also, he would be dating one of them, and we all just let that go. I know we didn't, but we all just let that go. Like,
to be fair, more things came out that
Yeah, but that might be the single weirdest thing he said. I'm not saying the worst thing. It's far from. I'm saying if I had to like list the weirdest things I've ever heard come out of Trump's mouth, that's top 5.
You're saying if your daughter was Ivanka, you wouldn't date her?
No, I would not date my daughter. And I mean weird in like Tim Wall's weird. Like when Tim Wall says that's weird, that might be like the weirdest thing he said.
Yeah, he says a lot of weird stuff, but that is a Tim Wall's weird.
Yeah, again, he's said and done so much worse. That's just bizarre. That's the thing. When I first heard that, my immediate thought, after gross, was what? That's an inside thought.
The issue is he just says so. There's just so many times I can't remember them all, especially the first term.
Sure,
he said a lot of weird stuff the first term that like means not like just complete nonsensical. It's not gibberish, which is why it's so weird. It's just completely nonsensical, like actual sentences that have meaning to them. And you're like, what? I think one of the weirdest things he said is his rant about the sharks. Man hates sharks.
Man saw Jaws as a kid. He saw Jaws. Jaws is his it.
Did it make you afraid of clowns?
Yes.
Is that the reason?
I've told you this, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just assumed that you were afraid of clowns for some reason.
No, I saw it. I saw part of it at like 5 or 6.
That's fair. When I was real little, I saw a part of Child Play, and I was like terrified of Chucky for into my college years even. It was hard for me to look at that thing. I still don't like looking at him, but I can.
No, I gotcha. He creeped me out as a teen, for sure.
And less prevalent than the ubiquitous clown.
Yeah.
What do you think about the clown museum with the eggs?
I will not be attending.
Do you know about the eggs?
Is
Is that where clowns hatch?
I
So if you want to trademark your clown makeup, you have to draw it on an egg, and then it goes in this special vault.
Okay.
And I
That
presume
is some weird culty ritual thing.
I presume
that they
if
would
the
do.
clown then dies, they are reborn from the egg like a Russian homunculi.
Yeah, because they're inhuman demons.
It'd be really fun to give you like temporary amnesia and have you believe that you're a clown and live like at this whole clown career, and then midway through you regain your memories and just see what that does to a person. Like suddenly your head trauma, like I don't know, like an elephant like pats you on the head in just the right way, and through their powerful elephant magic, your mind's healed, and then you just realize that you've been a clown for like 10 years.
You know how? I don't know. You know how Vietnam vets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot like that.
What's the opposite of a clown? I was debating this the other week, and I've been meaning to
Dude,
ask you.
I have what?
What's like the polar opposite of a clown?
Good holy person.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus.
I feel like Jesus would like clowns.
Well, yeah, he loved all the wretched evil people, but like
I feel like he never said it's
he loves them despite their sin.
But you know what he said? He did say that it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for the rich to get into heaven.
Yeah,
The opposite is true for clowns because they can fit into small spaces, and we never talk about that.
it is
Do
easier.
you were you kind of afraid during the Kendrick show when all the people came out of the car? They might be secret clowns.
What, the halftime show?
Yeah, in the beginning when he's doing his
no,
intro,
that was fine.
and they all come out of like one car.
Yeah, that
which
was
implies
yeah.
secret clowns.
No, that was fine.
Mimes? I never asked before, but I always forget.
Mimes are fine. They make me generally weary.
Because of their power.
Yes, but they're fine.
Right? You should have to. I guess we don't have any here, but like you should have to register to be a mime. You can just like kill someone. You can just put someone in a box and they can't get out.
I have, yeah, I have stated in life, you need a license to be a street performer. And so I think I don't think it should be like impossible to, but you should have to get a license and be required to have some sort of like your registration to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Like, the fact, again, in order to be like an official clown, like a real official clown, you have to like go through training and shit. In order to
Given to how many stand-up comedians commit sexual assault,
how many sexual assault comedians? How
many stand-up sexuals are assaults?
How many stand-up comedians have committed sexual assault, but also just give off horrific vibes? So there was this dude. Actually, I'll name him. He's horrible, and I hate him. His name is Richard Teskey. And he was bullied out of the Funny Stop. And Pete got mad at us, but it doesn't matter. He was bullied out of the Funny Stop. This was a process that took weeks because he had horrendous vibes and he was scaring the host. And he was like, all of his jokes were about how he had women tied up in his basement and how he was a secret pedophile.
Yeah, that's not great.
And listen, if you can get those jokes to work, then that's...
If it wasn't that, I like the...
But it's the fact that we couldn't tell, or he gives off the vibe that they weren't jokes.
I love the idea of a comedian who has horrible vibes but tells good jokes. So
Yes.
upset he has bad jokes.
And the last time he went to the Funny Stop, he wore a long trench coat and he was walking on the stage, and all of us in that room, you could hear a fucking pin
Do you
drop.
think it was like a...
We all had the thought. We all silently looked at him, looked at each other, looked at him, and we all had the thought of, we're going to die right now.
Do you think it was an Andy Kaufman thing?
No. I just think he's untalented. Another reason we had to kick him out, and his protege is
Would you
gone.
sacrifice him to, like, if a clown showed up to take him away?
Yeah,
Would you be
in a
like,
heartbeat.
would you be like, that's a good one? That's a good clown?
I would see in my head. It's like a bear. I'm pushing him out of the way to get further.
No, I'm imagining. So you're at the Funny Stop, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's about to walk on stage, and then out of the shadows, squeak, squeak, honk, honk, a clown comes, just like grabs some big hand over his mouth and pulls him into the darkness. And you hear like, "Doo-doo,"
I think that would
and then a
rule.
little car about a foot tall and drives out.
I think that would rule. I think I would have a legit panic attack, and I think that would rule.
I think maybe you just need a positive clown experience.
Those words don't make sense in that sentence.
I gotta-
No one has ever had a positive clown experience because there aren't any. They only bring suffering. They're all demon pedophiles.
What if okay, hear me. We take your lovely dog, dress her up as a clown, and train her to do at least one clown related trick.
No.
And then you're associating your great love for the clown with
Lilia?
with the great love with clowns. You're associating the love with clowns. It's like how you can cure racism by making someone's wife wear blackface.
What?
Yeah, because then they associate that with their wife.
No, they just call their wife the N-word and hate them.
Not if you do it right.
Okay.
You can't just do it haphazardly. You have to do it like in a proper.
No, but
setting.
his protege is gone, and I forget his protege's name. But he started multiplying. He lost his license for a DUI in the Funny Stop parking lot because he was damn near blackout drunk at the bar next door, and then backed right into another car, went to another car, and then just like got out of the parking lot, and he was pulled over very, very quickly afterwards.
That kind of rocks.
And so he got one of his work friends at a former job and to like drive him places. And his work friend also did stand up, and he was just as bad and just as creepy. And so he was multiplying. And so in order for the host to stop being scared, we had to nick it. We had to nip it in the bud. And so we bullied him out of the Funny Stop. We thought we bullied him out of stand-up, but like 9 months later, he resurged at the Tuesday open
You
mic.
can never, if a white man thinks he's the funniest man in the room, you can never pull him away from comedy.
There's
He
also
probably still thinks you can make it.
maybe. There's also the Nazi who died by murder-suicide after we kicked him out of the scene.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there was a dude back when Barmacy was still running. There was a dude who would come in. He was only here for like 5 weeks because the host, my friend Matthew Farkas, has one of the biggest hearts in the world, and he truly thinks that, or he like truly believed that he could like teach this dude, hey, don't do this at the mic, do this. And he believed that he could like rehabilitate this dude. And then about 5 weeks later of him dropping the N-word for 2 weeks, he realized we can't, like, even if we could, it would take too long and it wasn't worth it. And so we kicked him out. And then less than a month later, we saw the story in the news that he had died by murder-suicide, and he took a woman out with him.
I know a guy who we used to call Diesel because that's what he wanted to be called, and he's in jail for almost shooting up his family.
So I think that's why we need some kind of registration or license, or even if we just want to have like a couple basic therapy sessions, like for like major medical procedures, because stand-up is a major life decision. And so I think it should not be taken flippantly. And I think that you should be in a good enough headspace and a healthy enough headspace to try it. And I'm not saying suicidal. I am explicitly saying rapey and homicidal and like racist and like that kind of shit can be weeded out in a couple therapy sessions, right? Like, the thing is, you would think that
I
they
don't think
would
we
like
have enough therapists. There's billions of these people, probably. By my reckoning.
there's I don't want to do how many there are comedians. There's a lot, but I don't feel like doing that math. I don't know if billions, but because that's like saying that 1 in every 9 people is a stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
insane.
committing to it. I think if you do the math, it'll work out.
Okay, so is it because you have 9 friends and I'm one of them?
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's how statistics works.
Yeah, because you're very small sample size. So, no, I they make you go through psychological evaluation before getting bariatric surgery, which is like a thing that'll help you. Yes, you should also get psychological evaluation so you can like gauge how you feel about food and like whether or not it's gonna work and blah blah blah. But like, even if we can't have like real psychological evaluation, maybe like go have a couple people who aren't your friends, have a couple people who don't like you, gauge whether or not they think you're in a healthy enough headspace, because they'll be more judgmental
like they're always
and more
gonna say
honest.
no.
I think that
If I don't like someone, I
they're
don't
not
want
gonna
them
be-
to do well at all. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure they don't get what they want. 'Cause I
That's-
don't like them.
Okay, that's me. If I don't like someone, I still want them to like, depending on how much I don't like them and for the reason I don't like them. But I wish them the best in life. I just wish they are
If I
not
don't
a
like
part of
someone,
my
I
life.
genuinely like any time that they fail in something or in their hardship or suffering, it brings me great joy.
No, I wish them well. I do not want them to be a part of my life. Okay, so not you, but find people who dislike them who aren't you or like you.
What if I just judge every stand-up comedian?
No.
I think I could do it. That could be my full-time job. I have a little office, and they come there and they do a little set, and we just talk for a bit. You know, we shoot the shit, and I either give them their license or they get taken out back.
I'm a huge believer and proponent of having a Secretary of the Arts in government, like for real. And I think that you could be like a part of that department.
I want to be like the X-Files. That's where they put all the stand-up comedian files. And I go around until I drive, and we're like a Twin Peaks situation where like I'm driving town to town, eating diner pie, showing up. I have a license to kill.
Yeah. Yeah.
I go up. I'm like, tell me a joke, and they're like, oh, my wife the other day, she should. I just go pow pow pow.
See, I don't think telling a bad joke is a killable offense. It depends on how bad the joke. I think telling a bad joke is a beat-upable offense.
And then I
For sure.
Then I hand a folded up flag to their ex, because they're not in a relationship, to their ex, and say, thank you for your service. I drive to the next town. That would rock. I'd really love my life if that was my life.
Then let's figure out a way to make that happen.
Yeah, give me a license to kill comedians.
Okay, I'm good. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Ready? You want to do socials?
Right now. So you brought the movie this week.
Yes, I brought Underworld.
Yeah, 2003's
Very 2003 movie.
Yeah.
A movie really truly about the Iraqi war.
Yeah. Directed by Len Weissman, who did the recent Ballerina movie.
Well, the screenplay is also done by
Different Danny McBride.
Yeah, different Danny McBride, but a stuntman, much like the John Wick movies.
Everything now about Underworld makes sense. Listen, I'm gonna be honest.
It's
this
John
movie's
Wick.
fine.
It's John Wick for people that fucking wore like trip pants.
It's John Wick for someone who hasn't figured out how to make John Wick yet. He hasn't quite figured out how to fully direct the action sequence.
Well, so it's
but you can tell that
2003,
he's like, or the fight scene. But
It's
you can tell that
2003,
he's getting
so he's
there.
like stuck on. Well, there has to be vampires. It's really hot right now. It's before 2010. Everything's got to be like vampires or spooky if you want it to do good. Name something from that time period that doesn't have that.
School of Rock,
We don't know that any of those characters are vampires.
Secondhand Lions.
Secondhand lions. I mean, there's you might be one. There's some supernatural elements there. There's like fantasticalness.
So this movie's fine.
I'm not.
This movie is
I'm gonna go on
too-
record. I'm not sure it's a good movie. It fucking rocks.
Sure. You know what? I understand I get that thought process.
I'm not sure it's a good movie, but as someone who was the person I was in 2003, this movie rocks.
This movie.
As someone who just spent like high school after 2003, but still, within that period, largely of like adolescence, of reading like early emo romantasy, listen to My Chem. This movie fucking rocks.
This movie is very fun to a very specific demographic. It is also painfully slow.
I like the eugenics and race science of it too.
Yeah,
The weird
yeah.
eugenics and race science.
It's, I think I talk a lot about you can cut a lot from movies. This movie could have been 30 minutes shorter.
No, dude, you gotta soak in the sauce.
I think if this movie were 95 minutes and it were just like,
You gotta soak in
Go-
the vibes
no.
of the underworld.
no, if there's one thing that this movie shouldn't have been, it was tedious.
You gotta make like a Mormon and soak, dude. You gotta soak in those vibes.
This movie knows it's stupid, but it takes itself seriously enough that like you think you can take it seriously until you actually break down the story.
Yeah.
But so this movie knows what it is, and so it should be in and out. At no point should you have time outside of the.
You gotta remember, you gotta pad it out because all the teens seeing this movie are gonna be making
Yeah,
out.
yeah, for
You
real.
wanna
That
give them
really
time to
is
make
what
out,
it feels
yeah.
like.
It's a movie that the teenagers are gonna put on and either make out in the theater or fuck at home. There's no way you can watch this movie with your partner and not get something going.
This does feel like this movie, and maybe that's why the other movies are 20 minutes shorter, is because it stopped being that sex. I don't know. I don't think this movie is particularly sexy, but I think to horny emo goth teens,
It's a sexy fucking movie.
so okay. So this werewolves and vampires hate each other.
I-
They're not werewolves. They're lichens. But they do say the word werewolf.
I desperately need you to break down this movie. A lot of times I have you break down a movie because it's a nitty gritty I don't like to participate in. I desperately need you to walk me through this movie. And I'm going to offer no corrections.
So vampires and lichens don't like each other.
Don't liking each other.
Don't like each other, and they're in a hundreds of years long blood war, which is the title of the newest Underworld. There hasn't been an Underworld in 10 years.
No.
Someone should
Fucking shame.
reboot it.
Well, it's because she stopped being in all the great movies that aren't good but rock. She did.
Well, yeah,
because
because Kate Beckinsale and Len Wiseman got divorced.
She did like what? She's Resident Evil too, right? Am I nuts?
Yes,
Is there a look-alike that just happens to play like the same thing she does?
The Mia Wokovich person. The Mia Wokovich
right.
person. Yeah.
That's not her.
So
I mean, it's like identical.
yeah, for real.
All right. So far, you've said that they're vampires or werewolves, and they don't like each other.
So okay, so they're at war. Victor, played by Bill Nighy, used to be the king vampire. He's asleep. He's in hibernation.
In the special floor.
that you need the security guard code to get into.
Something I really like about the aesthetic of this movie
He's sorry, go for it. He's just a security guard.
is that like there's like the 2003 idea of like Matrix technology.
Yes.
And the vampires have it. And the werewolves really don't.
No.
They got the bullets. But like other than that, they like live in like a sewer. And they're like homeless.
Oh.
And then you go to the vampires and they're like, we live in a mansion and we have crazy technology. We have a security guard. We're definitely all fucking when the camera's not on us.
While we're talking about vampires fucking.
Yeah.
So there is a sex scene in this movie between not Victor, what's his name? Craven.
Great.
Craven and his.
You sent out Victor, I was like, Marcus. I'm like, no, that's the he's asleep.
Yeah, right. Craven and his partner lady, not our protagonist, who is betrothed. Does Craven just want to be married to her, or is she like betrothed to him, or how do we find out more in the sequel? Okay, or do you just not know?
Vampires, man. I don't know because when I'm engaging with this movie, I'm not thinking, are they betrothed or are they? I'm just like, this fucking the entire time. I'm just like, this fucking rocks.
This movie's rated R, right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
They shot the sex scene specifically like they thought they were going to get a PG-13 rating.
Well, that makes it kind of sexy.
No, it makes it look awkward.
Well, that's
it's
how
so
the teens
awkwardly
can watch it.
shot. It's so awkwardly shot, and like her body. And listen, I'm not saying you need to have nudity in movies. I actually don't believe that. But I think if you're going to have like overtly sexual themes, unless you're making a point by hiding behind a vase or hiding behind a corner, unless that's like you're making a point, I think this movie is stupid. Be stupid, because it's shot. You can tell thought went into how that scene was shot, because they specifically were covering her body in like very obvious, but also not like.
Maybe they wanted to use it for like a music video. Maybe they're trying to get some band to do like a music video for it.
Maybe.
And they're like, you can use our cool sex scene from our movie.
It's shot very like, a lot of this movie is shot like a 2003 music video, but like it's shot stylistically. And that scene specifically feels like it was shot mechanically, that they were framed very obviously on purpose, and it was for the exact purpose
maybe
of
that's what
getting.
sex is like for a vampire, mechanical.
But that's not what they're that's not. I don't think what it's saying, because it doesn't say it anywhere else. Also, the romance in this movie is just so unsexy. It's so unsexy and comes out of nowhere. The romance between Kate Beckinsale and Michael Corvin.
You're saying you never dreamed of being bitten by a werewolf and then a hot vampire falls in love with you?
Well, she didn't. The whole thing. So for the entire first hour of this movie, everyone is telling her that she's in love with this dude, but she is in no way showing it or in any way reacting, even internal. Like,
she's a cold-hearted vampire assassin.
But they have no chemistry.
They're both hot.
But they have no chemistry. That's not being hot. Is not
You're
chemistry.
both hot.
That's not chemistry.
For a werewolf and a vampire, it is.
Actually, it explicitly isn't, because Lucian and his wife, Lucian and Sonia, have more chemistry in that one scene than Michael Corvin and Kate Beckinsale have in this entire movie. There was more love and passion and intimacy in their two performances in that one 45-second scene than in all of the.
Yeah, but imagine being a werewolf and fucking a vampire.
Okay.
There's books written about this.
Yes, I know. So werewolves don't like vampires for the reason, because they're the little guy in the war. Vampires don't like werewolves because racism, because they were slaves and they tried to like
they're dirty mongrels.
And Lucian impregnated Sonia, and Victor was like, we cannot have that. I appreciate that this movie tries to have the Victor was actually the villain the whole time, and I think it mostly works. I do think it's too late in this movie and wasn't set up before. Like, it truly comes out of nowhere. And yes, when you find out someone is the villain, that like it comes out of nowhere. But like, it should be a thing that you should be able to, even if it comes out of nowhere in the moment, you should be able to look back at it and see that there were signs. There were no signs other than he didn't like the werewolf dude, but also he's a bigot. First off, at no point did we know he had a daughter up until the moment that she died, because Victor says, I loved you like my own daughter, but that's not saying I loved you like my dead daughter. Like my own daughter just means like my own daughter, like as if you are my daughter, not I used to have a daughter and now I don't, and you're my surrogate daughter.
For us to find out.
But it's not.
You know? He's been sleeping a long time.
Yeah, like 100 years, something like that. Yeah. So Celine is like the top hunter lady. She's like
the death dealer.
Yeah, she is basically, she's a trained assassin to kill lichens.
It's me with 2 guns.
and her whole family was killed in what she thought was a lichen attack, but turns out it was Victor. But again, at no point could you have seen that? And if you look back at the events of the movie, at no point does that make sense.
It was a shock for her, yeah.
But you should be able to, for proper storytelling, you should be able to look back and like see the.
Now you're feeling the authentic shock of the character.
But
Far more immersive theater experience.
even in
Imagine,
real life,
you're already completely immersed in either being fucked by a vampire or being fucked by a werewolf, right? And then suddenly you find out that either your girlfriend or your parents were killed by her like adoptive father figure. That's a shock. How does it affect your horniness, you know? That's the question this movie asks.
it makes her more horny.
Yeah.
Which it shouldn't. I don't know, man. I can't break down this. This movie is stupid, and I didn't love it. But also, I understand that it is a movie made for horny teenagers. But at the same time, I feel like it should still be a pleasurable viewing
It does. It
experience.
fucking rocks.
If you're not a horny teenager, if
She
you're
has 2 guns and like a sword.
if you're just there to watch an action movie and not get a hand job in the back of the theater,
Go see Pearl Harbor.
no. Maybe you just want to watch Underworld.
If you see Underworld trailer
And
and
you
you are
think
not going to get a hand job, there's no person that sees the Underworld trailer says this is a movie I want to see and it isn't going to either give or receive a hand job in the theater watching it. There's nothing. There's no Venn diagram there.
So so Corvinus, this dude. So there's this dude.
Corvinus.
He's the first immortal, and he had 2 sons, a vampire and a lichen.
Yeah.
And so, according to some theory or prophecy or some lichen test, they're testing the blood of all of Corvinus's direct descendants.
Oh man.
And Marcus is also a direct descendant, but he's asleep. We'll get to Amelia. So Corvinus had 2 kids. And so they believe that one of the direct descendants of Corvinus, you can combine their DNA to create a super mega.
By all logic, it tracks.
So the lichens are testing and killing Corvins. So there was, I don't even remember Michael's brother's name from the beginning of the movie. There's Jeff. There's Jeff
Corvin.
There's Jeff Corvin.
Who's unaware that his patriarch, his ancestral patriarch, had 2 sons, one a vampire and one's a lichen.
The lichens think that one of his direct descendants, you can fuse their DNAs together to create an Ubermensch.
Someone who's both werewolf and vampire.
And Jeff isn't, but Michael is. And they test. Also, about 400 years ago, Craven killed Lucian, but he didn't kill Lucian. They struck a deal that was like 400 years in the making, so Craven could be the top vampire like leader. But in order to do that, he had to like pretend that he killed Lucian, and Lucian had to be in the shadows forever. So Lucian, by the way, is Martin Sheen.
Yeah. Sure fucking is.
Yeah. So Michael's a match. Michael,
For Celine,
you can blend their blood together, and Celine realizes that Craven is full of shit. Craven is full of shit because she saw Lucian and she shot him, and Lucian sucked Michael's blood as a werewolf to spit in a vial, which you would think also then that his own DNA would get in there.
That's not how werewolves work.
But the fact that he was able to impregnate Sonia implies that his DNA also can blend with a vampire.
That's going to be one or the other. Unless it's twins, and then one will be a vampire and one will be a werewolf. That's how it works.
So Celine doesn't respect Craven even in the beginning, but she also so she's constantly undermining him, but she's also betrothed to him, or he wants to marry her but also doesn't like her, or just finds her like disobedient, and so
the worst thing a wife can be.
So he has like a willing assistant lady who worships the ground that he walks on, and he doesn't respect her, but she still thinks that she's still trying to like plan to be Craven's queen. All of that to say, Craven was lying, and Michael Corvin is a Corvinus descendant who has the magic blood, even though it's also pseudo implied that Lucian has the magic blood by being able to impregnate Sonia. But who is a vampire who was Victor's first daughter, who he burned her alive in the sun. The vampire rules that this movie decides to take are
What do you mean?
they can enter any space they want, whether they've been invited or not.
Yeah.
Crosses don't seem to bother them. They don't seem to be comfy, but they don't seem to bother them.
They just have a distaste for organized religion.
Yeah. But like the sun still hurts them.
Yeah.
And they don't commune with animals, or they don't seem to have any ability to like mind control over.
Well, yeah, how would being the child of an immortal cause you to do that?
So okay. This movie plays fast.
Oh,
and
I'm
loose.
someone's son. I can't enter a house unbidden. That'd be silly.
This whole movie.
These are
is silly.
scientific vampires.
Also, yeah, that they hibernate.
Yeah.
And they go into a coffin in the ground with test tubes,
Yeah.
or like IVs dripping from them, and you can like raise them from the dead through memories.
Yeah. You'd also get memories from being bitten by a werewolf.
You get that werewolf's
Yeah.
memories, but also maybe your own memories.
Yeah.
Because like a descendant of the bloodline, but also like, so Victor is not Marcus is the Corvinus descendant. Victor is not, or are they both?
I don't think they're both.
Okay, but Marcus is. That is explicitly stated in the text. Okay.
Might be. I know they go more into it in like the second movie.
I almost want to watch all 5 of these for this show.
Yeah, we can do.
I don't even particularly like these movies, but they're just batshit insane. So Celine raises Victor from hibernation, which is a thing that only a magic seer could do. I forget the word they use. Not chancellor. Or oracle. Let's say
Something like
oracle.
that, yeah.
Only an oracle can do, unless you're Celine. And then you can do it, but poorly.
Well, yeah, because it's science.
Right, because she's his daughter, but not by blood.
There's no magic in this movie.
There's no magic. So the oracle is on a train.
Yeah.
The oracle is on a train with at least two other vampires, and the train is ambushed by some lichens, and Craven specifically switches up the security detail to make this happen. And the lichens ravage all the vampires, including the oracle, basically assuming that then they can't resurrect Victor or Marcus.
Yeah.
But Celine can do it poorly.
Well, he thinks there's magic, but there's not.
So Amelia's dead. I think that's her name. Amelia the Oracle is dead.
She's one of the leaders, I'm pretty sure.
Was she one of the people? Was she supposed to go into
I
hibernation?
think she's supposed to go into hibernation.
But why was Craven in charge?
Well, he's not one of the leaders. He's just a leader.
But then why would the leader not be with the coven?
I'm going to take a train ride. I don't know. People can go places.
So Supreme Leader Amelia, who is the Oracle, who was gone for some reason. I don't entirely remember why. She just wasn't with the coven.
Doing business.
With what? With who?
Vampires.
So there are other vampires in the world.
One must assume.
Do they all have their own supreme leaders?
No. I can say that confidently knowing the plot of the second movie. No.
So there's one supreme leader of all the vampires,
Yeah.
and just multiple covens.
It has to be, because one of the movies is about humanity fighting vampires. It can't just be one coven.
Wait, what?
That's the third movie, is that vampires and leggings are discovered.
That's what the prequel's about?
No, that's the third. Is that the third one? The prequel?
Yes.
I'm thinking the fourth one.
Oh,
Sorry.
Awakenings. Okay.
Yeah, it's about now they're being hunted by man.
This movie. So Corvin is captured. No, is Corvin captured by the werewolves? Because the vampire security is about to like go get him, and then he breaks out to save Celine, but then escapes, but then goes to Lucian, right?
There are a lot of swapping back and forth of who's captured by who. Like at one point, the vampires have a werewolf, and the werewolves have like a vampire-aligned person.
And then Lucian captures Michael, I think, I don't know, and explains his whole backstory of I fell in love, and Victor is such a bigot that he was willing to kill his own daughter and start a war in order to not have race mixing, and very not based of him. And so Victor was the bad guy the whole time.
Yeah.
Also, for someone who's supposed to be the Ubermensch, well, it's because Michael doesn't really know how to fight. But I was like, for someone who's supposed to be the Ubermensch, he almost gets his ass.
Yeah, he's
held
had no
to him.
training. He doesn't know yet. He barely knows how to be a werewolf, let alone a werewolf vampire.
Well, he doesn't know how to be a werewolf. He's only been a werewolf for 45 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. He barely knows how. He's figuring it out as he goes, and now he has to worry about being a vampire too.
Yeah, because he's almost dead. And and then Celine and Locke. So Victor, I don't even know how certain plot points tie together. Victor discovers Michael, and like everyone else assumes that Celine is banging Michael or wants to bang Michael,
It's a logical assumption.
even though there's no chemistry set up beforehand.
It's the only logical assumption one can have in that situation.
So Celine is put on lockdown, but the assistant lady who had the horribly shot sex scene with Craven, she sets off the alarms, and Celine is able to escape. Also, while this is all happening, Amelia's being killed, right? Yes.
Yeah.
That's the timeline. And so she goes to Michael. Because Michael has already been captured at this point, because she left the first time to like make out with him, and Victor was like, no, daughter of mine will be race mixing. And so she goes to the Lucian's lichen lair.
Just like that. That's the motion she makes. She races.
She goes to Lucian's lichen lair, and at this point she's been disowned by her coven, but also by the end is not disowned by her coven, but is disowned by her. Also, Craven is going to Lucian's lichen lair because his entire world is falling apart. His lie, his meticulous
That's the power
lie.
of love. You can make a 500-year plan, but
His
when true
meticulous
love
lie is
blossoms,
falling apart. And he has a conversation with Lucian, and they're so close to the end. If Craven could just wait 45 more minutes, but he can't, and he shoots Lucian in the back with the silver nitrate bullets. Also, so silver bullets affects lichens, which is fine. We can have that lore. Perfect. They made these new bullets that when they make contact, they explode into goo. They like leak out. Which is a thing.
it's like a hollow point.
Sure.
When bullets fall apart, it hurts more.
So Craven shoots Lucian with the goo bullet, and Lucian dies, but he doesn't die. He miraculously comes back to life for a little while when it's plot relevant, and then dies again. He officially does Martin Sheen come back in these movies? I assume in the prequel, but does he come back in?
It's been so long since I've seen the second one.
So, but also, something is killing Michael. I don't remember what. Because he's like turning. Does he get shot? He gets hit or hurt.
He gets
somehow.
hurt.
He gets hurt somehow. I don't remember how. The whole movie's a blur.
He gets hurt,
and he's dying. And Celine bites and sucks his blood. And that's the moment that Victor knocks her off of the werewolf and is like, how dare you, my daughter, how dare you suck off this lichen? And
you're not Nancy Reagan.
Exactly. And, but she's like, but Daddy, I love him, and you lied, because Craven basically was like, your father isn't who we thought he was, and here's the story. And Celine's like, no, Daddy would never lie to me. And then Daddy physically hurt her, and because she was race mixing, and she sees for the first time, oh, you're a bigot, you're the bad guy, you're the villain the whole time. It was never.
It was funny because she's also a bigot.
And he's like, I actually am the villain. and so Corbin turns into like, Michael Corbin turns into like a black, like his whole body is like, kind of like Beast or Mystique, but it's all like black.
It's very Mystique.
And he has like black pupil eyes, and he is like vampire. No, he has like werewolf muscle, but not werewolf fur, but like vampire claws and like vampire leanness.
He kind of is like a hairless werewolf.
He's a werepire. And I was trying to find a lichen pun, and
The
I couldn't.
strongest thing you can be.
And so he's like, I love your daughter, and
I'm going to fuck her.
And she's gonna keep sucking me off. And Victor's like, how dare you exist, you dirty, dirty scoundrel. You can't love my daughter. You can't even exist. And Celine
He's the best possible dick out of any werewolf and vampire, by the way.
And then Celine grabs Victor's sword, and then is like, Daddy, I love him, and like jumps down and slices his head in half.
Yeah.
And so Victor's dead until the third movie in the prequel. He comes back in the prequel. I've seen the cover. But she was like, Daddy, I love him, and then we're gonna be together whether you like it or not. And he's like, I don't like it at all. And then and then his face gets chopped in half, and so Michael and Celine are like, cool, we need to get to safety, but then we can start sucking each other off again. And like, Craven at this point is a traitor. They all find out that he was a liar the whole time, so he basically has to live his life in secret.
Yeah.
So that's the plot of Underworld.
It's a movie that's both pro eugenics and race science, but also pro interracial relationship. This is a movie that says fundamentally a black person's skull shape's different, but we stan a snow bunny.
That's so fair. That's honestly not based, but almost based.
You say it's not based, say no, there's a distinct biological difference between the white man and the African, and they should fuck because their baby will be strong.
This baby will be better than both of them.
Tiger Woods.
Barack Obama. He is the best war criminal.
Zendaya.
You're so right, bestie. Oh, you're so right. Oh my gosh.
Shouts out to Mel.
Hell yeah. Shout out, Mel. So
you're so strong.
So this okay. So yeah. I'm trying to anyway. So this movie rocks. This movie rocks. It's quite tedious. What did I give it on Letterboxd? I truly don't remember. I gave this movie 2.5 stars, and I agree with that. There are some banger moments, and then there's a lot of slog to get through. He also hasn't quite, Len Wiseman also hasn't quite figured out how to direct a fight scene yet. He knows how to make flashy, stylish shots, but he hasn't quite figured out how to direct like fight scenes or dialogue. He hasn't quite mastered how to like not make exposition boring, things that like a basic like fundamental skills. Well,
that's how werewolves and vampires talk. They're all neurodivergent. They lore dump their special interests on you. Okay. Like daughter's not race mixing.
Would I recommend this movie? Yes. With the caveat of know that you are about to enter a very tedious
and be sitting next to someone you're gonna either get have a sexy time with.
If it was, I watched this movie to watch this movie.
I think if you watch this movie with Geneva, you would have given it 5 stars.
I watched this movie as a movie. And so I made the mistake for thinking that this thing that was released as a movie was a movie.
It is a movie, but it's a movie for horny people to be horny with their partner with.
Okay, whatever, dude.
They had to put plastic sheets over all the seats when this movie was in theaters.
It's not even that sexy. I don't get,
Dude,
unless you have an underdeveloped.
It's dripping with sex.
No, it's not. It's dripping with style.
It's
for
as
sure.
wet as your girlfriend's going to be after watching it with you.
Unless you have an underdeveloped frontal lobe, I don't see how you think this is sexy. Once you've like achieved adulthood, I don't get watching that movie.
Do you read a lot of romanticy?
A little bit, not a lot.
Would you consider yourself a big fan of the genre?
Passingly?
Yeah, see, that's why you don't get it. There's nothing hotter than chaining down a werewolf and making out with them. Everyone knows that.
Okay, if it's done well and written well, yeah. Or if it's like written like
category is hottest things in the world. Let's see, making out the werewolf you chained up. Oh, look, it's number 1 at 100. There's only one thing on the board.
The CGI in this movie looks horrible, but also it rules.
Yeah.
So there's something about early 2000 CGI. Modern CGI objectively like looks better, but it looks wrong.
Well, it's also getting worse, but not in a fun way.
Well, this is like bad. This looks bad. By 2003 standards, this doesn't look great. The Matrix is 5 years old at this point. Like, it looks bad, but also it looks stupid and fun.
It rocks.
And it kind of rips, dude. For what the story the movie is telling, it looked like this movie is dumb.
10 out of 10 doctors agree this movie fucks.
Okay. Those are all my thoughts. Do you have anything else, or do you want to
watch this movie. Watch this movie with your loved ones. Sling some goo.
And on that note, do you want to do socials?
Yeah, I'll do socials. If you want to see, I'll post some hot werewolf porn. If you want to see some hot werewolf porn, you can go to our Instagram at 2menmoviepodcast at gmail.com. 2menmoviepodcast. If you want to email us your Celine X Reader fan fiction,
it's definitely Celine.
you can send that to our 2menmoviepodcast at gmail.com. If you want to see the X-rated version of this movie, which I alone possess, I'll be uploading it to the YouTube at 2 Men Anime Movie Podcast. That's where you can see some werewolf schlong. It's called the Not Cut.
Merch in the show description. Marvin the Movie Walrus gives this movie
fins up because he's jacking off. It's so hot.
I was gonna say gives this movie one fin up and is using the other to jack off. Thank you. That's the better anyway.
Well, I've seen one video of a walrus jacking off and he used both fins.
Well, I didn't need to know that. I didn't.
He has like huge dick.
Well, Marvin's talented anyway. So
he's got Nancy Reagan in there.
If you fuck this. What is my life become?
We need to release an episode 100 shirt where it's just Marvin getting sucked off by Nancy Reagan, limited run.
If you want to find me on Instagram or Threads, you can go to harrisonpool.com. That's HARRISONPOOLEDOTCOM. Just look up harrisonpool.com. If you want to subscribe and read my Substack, that is Harrison Pool's Routine Maintenance. If you're a comedy booker, you can email me. Honestly, this might be the episode that you would find entertaining. If you're a comedy booker or a business owner who wants to like book shows or whatever, it's harrisonpoolcomedy@gmail.com. You can follow me on Letterboxd at HDPOOLE124. I believe that's it. Thank you so much to Tristan Hostetter for our theme music. Thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week for I don't need to look it up. The comedian Jerry Seinfeld's comedian documentary. I have a lot of thoughts. I like it a lot. Pro eugenicist Jerry Seinfeld, or like anyway,
pro dating teenagers Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, fucking oh my god. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Yeah, so long and good night.
This is Matthew and Harrison's 2 Men in a Movie. It's not what it sounds like.